BMW stuck on the road. Okay, gonna make a coffee. I make coffee, and we're gonna ready to get going. See what's going on out there. This is a 2012 Subaru Outback 3.6R Limited. So far, I've owned this car 130,000 miles. I don't think I've ever really seriously gotten stuck, except for one place. I was climbing a hill, and it was pretty deep, but I managed to get out with no problem. A little digging, but I got out and I made it up the hill. It was probably my fault. And the tires, but in this kind of weather, the car has always done good. I've never had any problems at all. Especially in the snow. These cars are really good climbing hills for some reason. Like, I've been up really steep hills, and the engine seems to grunt down and get it up the hill pretty easily. Even in the snow. I mean, as you can see, the roads are plowed, so it's not as bad as it could be, but it's not as deep either. Little fishtailing there. I mean, driving in the snow is pretty simple. Let me turn this off. Driving in the snow is pretty simple. The main thing when you're driving in the snow is not to use the brakes and to go at a moderate speed, especially like on slippery surfaces like this. So the idea is to steer yourself out of a potential crash. So if you're driving in the snow and you're going, 40 miles an hour and you hit the brakes, your wheels are going to lock up and you're going to go into a skid. And there's no way of avoiding that. So like now I'm fishtailing a little bit. See that? I don't know if you saw that. I had the car swayed a little bit to the right. Okay, so what that causes is that you're going too fast, you're making a turn, and the rear wheels want to slip out from under you. So if I would have hit the brakes, the car would have kept going to the right, and I might have hit the barrier. But what I did is I took my foot off the brake, and the car immediately began to slow down, and I started steering away from where the car was skidding to, using the front wheels to put myself back on a straight line. So braking in the snow is not the same as if you were braking on hard surface, because the tires, you will slip whether you have ABS or not. You know, you are going to see, like this guy in the front of me, he did the right thing. I mean, he put on the brakes, but he's going really slow, so he was able to you know, gain control of his vehicle. But again, that's a front-wheel drive car. This is a real all-wheel drive vehicle with symmetrical all-wheel drive that, you know, is going to handle this kind of weather. That's what this car is made for, like this kind of weather, like. And it really helps. The symmetrical all-wheel drive really helps out. And you can feel it. Like, I can drive now and I can feel the car like gripping to the ground, versus when you're driving on hard pavement. You know, but this is like real slippery stuff right here. So I'm doing 35 miles an hour. Right? There's my ABS light, not my tire sensor monitor light. Some guy broke it. I had a flat tire, and it's been on ever since. But I mean, it's really no big deal. I had the piece. Once I get a new tire, I'm gonna have it put on. But you know, this is it. You know, you do 25. You know, I could probably go 40. Oh, look at this accident. All right, here we go. Here's a bad crash. This guy's rear-wheel drive. You know, back up and get back on the road, because you see, a rear-wheel drive car, basically you're limited to 10 miles an hour. I mean, you can't go faster than that in the snow. You know, you just can't, especially going up a hill. I mean, you just have no traction. With a front-wheel drive car, you have way better traction than rear-wheel drive. I mean, that's the benefit of front-wheel drive, is that you have two wheels spinning versus one. Even though you have a posi rear traction, there's no traction in the front. That's where you need the traction, is in the front, to keep you on a straight line, so you know, your tires don't spin out behind you when you're accelerating. Where all-wheel drive, especially Subaru, which is full-time all-wheel drive and all the wheels spin, that's the ultimate all-wheel drive system. I've had a BMW that was pretty good, you know, but that was pretty good. And then the other thing too is, see, like this car in front of me, that car has very narrow tires. So in the snow, those are the kind of tires you want. You want to be able to cut through the snow and hit pavement. So the more snow you cut through, the better traction you're going to get. So if you're in an SUV with big 20-inch tires and yada yada yada, you know, you're not going anywhere, because you're going to be sitting on top of the snow and you're going to be slipping and sliding, and there's nothing you can do about it. So the more narrow the tires, the better. You know, so BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Audis, you know, they claim about their all-wheel drive systems. The problem with them is they have those big tires, and they get stuck in the snow. Just like BMW that we passed before. I don't know if it's on, if it was recorded or not. So here's a guy. What car is that? So there's an SUV up in the front there, slipping and sliding, you know, and we're finally moving. You know, the whole thing is driving in the snow is, pretty much going at a decent speed. So now I'm going downhill in a turn. I'm not going to do 40 miles an hour, you know, because I'm going to probably hit that barrier. You know, you just got to roll. I'm just rolling right now. I'm barely giving it gas. I'm just taking it easy. You know, I got my defrost on, my heated seat, nice and toasty. And that guy in the truck, he knows how to drive. Look at him, he got through this. You know, big truck, wheel drive, but he's got the weight that's cutting right through the snow, like he's hitting pavement. But he can't go fast either, because when he goes to brake, the truck's gonna go sliding. And look at this, he was in this ditch. Look at that. And he with the power of that engine, he was able to get himself out of that. You know, when a car would pretty much be stuck in that. You'd have to wait for a tow truck, or somebody push you out. But if you got the brute force of a really strong engine, you may be able to get out. So I mean, this is pretty much like simple stuff that this car is like, can heat this up. This kind of, you know, slushy, snowy type of snow driving. The other thing too is, like, if the snow's too deep, I mean, if you're in, like, you can't drive in 2 feet of snow, because the snow will build up in front of you and you might not be able to get through it. You know, that's just you know, one of the alright, so now here's a truck coming, bus, there's a car. I'm gonna slow down, let him pass me, and that's it. I'm done, clear to go. You know, you gotta let people pass you if you're merging, because you can't really accelerate thinking that you can accelerate out on dry pavement, because you may fishtail or skid out, because you might have to brake, and you won't have the brakes needed because you're on ice. So I'm gonna make a little half right here. I'm gonna bear right, get in this. I mean, you can see this is New Jersey. This has all been plowed. You know, they do a good job here cleaning the roads. You know, the townships, you know, they're on budget, so they take a little longer to get to it. They wait until it's over, so they pretty much plow once rather than constantly going over it. And I mean, like, even in some towns, they'll just leave it, you know, let it ice over, and the cars just drive on the ice. And that's where it comes into being, you know, driving slow, having, you know, the proper vehicle, front wheel drive, all wheel drive, you know, 4x4, like that. You know, you need the proper vehicle. So I'm just doing 25. You know, there's no cars, so I'm going to work, doing snow patrol. So, you know, got to clean up the business. So yeah, they're plowing. I mean, this is nothing. I'm sure, like, people in Colorado, up in the northern states, I mean, they must get, like, hammered with, like, serious snow. But it hasn't been too bad lately. You know, you haven't been getting really big snowstorms where people are just, like, you know, locked into their house, can't get out, no power, like Sandy was terrible. That was a whole week of shutdown. So now I'm going to get onto this ramp. So now if I was going really fast, this is like a potential, you know, wipeout. You know, crashing into this corner barrier, into this Jersey barrier. That's what they call them, Jersey barriers. So now I'm going around a turn, and I'm not even having my foot on the gas. I'm just letting the car roll around this turn. Now I'm going to give it a little gas, and we're going to go down this hill. You know, a little gas, 20 miles an hour. I'm rolling now. A lot of potholes here. You know, there's a lot of heavy trucks come through here. You know, 80,000 pounds. Some of them are even more than that when they bring in heavy machinery. Some come in overweight, 90,000 pounds, 100,000 pounds, and they just destroy these roads. I mean, these trucks just destroy the roads on the turnpike, wherever they are. They just destroy them. Yeah, and this car's a good car. 130,000 miles, no problems, never. You know, so far so good. Yeah, like I could probably go through this. Not this. Yeah, it's left. I'm pretty much on pavement. They plowed this, but it's still icy, so you still have to consider, you know, ice. So it's pretty clear. I would just say that by it's 9:13 right now. I don't know, by the evening. See, now I'm in pretty deep snow. I mean, you can see like the car's just plowing through this like nothing. You know, it just has no problem going through this. By 12 o'clock, this is all going to be salted and cleaned because they have to get this ready for tomorrow. You know, you can see all the containers on the train. This is all good. This has to be clean. They can't leave this because there's going to be so much traffic here. So many vehicles coming through and yada yada yada. They actually closed this whole place down, you know, because of the snow, because they want to clean everything up, have it ready. There's a bridge they built. That was a pretty cool thing they did. That's so this side can have their containers come over this bridge down and access the train or the rail. This way they have access to the rail. So now I'm almost here. I mean, it's all a matter of speed. I mean, I can go faster. Because, I mean, even if I do sled out a little bit, there's plenty of room to do a donut, which is no problem. So I guess I'll go through a red light. Oh, there's a cop. Port Authority Police. I can go there. So this is pretty deep here. I probably could have went through it. He wouldn't have done anything. I mean, we kind of work together, so we all work here. They don't really bother people if you work here. So here's my. Oh, so they already plowed this parking lot. See, where's a good place to park so they can plow? You know, what I generally do to clean off my car is I have a broom, and I find brooms are really good for cleaning off your car. So I use that. Yep. On here. So what I'll do is I'll wait until the wipers are in the up position, and then I'll shut the car off. But it was great, and I'll be bringing some more videos. Take care.